everyone. It's been a minute since I filmed. We went on vacation, life happened. I haven't been able to film, but I'm back, okay? I am back. And I'm back with something that may surprise you if you don't follow me on Instagram anyways. And that is that I started a business. And within that business, I've created something I'm going to show you today. Now, I will say there are other things on the website. I'll do a video on them in the future. If you want to see what those other things are, yeah, just go to the website, check them out. And everything on here is affordable. Let's talk about what it is that I started as a business and what I'm gonna show you. So the business I started is called Teach Them Fun Learning. It goes with my name, obviously, it goes with my channel. And I create digital products that help you with homeschooling or other learning environments, whether that's a classroom or just parents wanting to enrich their child's learning more at home beyond school. It's really just for a lot of people. I really wanted it to be something very broad that could help a lot of people. And on top of that, this unit study here probably is mostly for homeschoolers, as I don't know if schools would use these, but I have created a fall unit study. It's a little messy here, all the pages, because I go through them. But yes, I have created a fall unit study. And the cool thing about this unit study is that it is extremely customizable. It could take you anywhere from 7 days to the full 3 months of fall to complete. Now, Misty, how could there be such a broad time frame for this unit study? Well, that is because it is fully customizable for you to decide how long it takes and how much effort you want to put into it. So the way it works is there are 7 unit studies within the pages. As you can see here, we have seasons, fall moons, harvest, changes, hibernation, migration, and fall fixings, okay? So yes, 7 in all subjects to talk about, but here's how it works. Each lesson will come with 2 main pages, as you see here next to me. All right, we have the actual lesson, which is never longer than a page. I don't want you to spend a million years just reading this to your kids. So the lesson is short and simple. The way that it works is we take what we learn here and we go beyond it on this page. And the way you do that is, number 1, I have at least 4 rabbit trails per lesson. And you can do those or do your own rabbit trails or skip them altogether. It's completely up to you. But you do have the option to do 4 or more rabbit trails per lesson that I have already created for you. If you do these rabbit trails, you can extend this lesson for such a long time, okay? What you could do is, if you want it to take the full 3 months of fall, then what you could do is divide those 3 months up by the 7 days and do lessons. Let them run their rabbit trails until the last day of that time frame for each section to make sure you stay on time. And then wrap it up and move on to the next one, if that makes sense. Or you could just go with the flow, and once you're done with rabbit trails, you're done. So that's what you could do. Beyond that, on this page, you will find crafts to do, you will find activities to do, discussion prompts, field trips. There are so many options that you could find in each section. I have different ideas for each lesson to do. So it will always change up down here and keep it creative. On top of that, you don't have to do these fall crafts and activities and field trips. You can do what you want. I just simply put it there to give you all the ideas, and you can either do what I've told you in the lesson, or you could come up with your own ideas. So if you don't want to, for example, do this fall access activity or a paper mache activity, those are some of the things you'll find on this page specifically, then you have the option to create your own ideas on what to do. You do not have to follow what I say. You can really let this go where you want it to go. You can follow your own family's learning style and let the kids kind of let you know what kind of activities they would like to do. It is 100% customizable. So just know that when you do this, you can pull it apart, add what you want, take away what you want. It's totally fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But the point is, I wanted to give you good bones, a good spine for a lesson, and for you to create beyond there based on your child's needs. Now, in these lessons, some of them have additional activities attached to the back of them and some of them don't. So right here, we're on the fall fixings and more page. You have the unit study itself here, the lesson, where you're gonna go through and read the information. At the bottom, by the way, I forgot to say, there's always a fun fact and activity where you'll learn something new, and then you're given either discussion questions or activities to do with it. And that is actually a really fun part of this. It's a good way to like transition into the and more page, which is that second page that gives you the rabbit trails and activities. So it's just a good way to go from the actual lesson through discussion into that second page where you're going to get more creative. So on the back of fall fixings, right, this is the and more page I told you guys about. On the fall fixings, there is an activity in here, and the activity is to let your child create their own pie, okay? So you'll see these pages where they can have different pie ingredients and create their own pie over and over and over again. That's one of the activities that comes with that lesson. And this one also comes with recipes. My printer's acting funky, you know, I need a new one. So ignore how it printed, but I do give you 3 of my own recipes. In Fall Fixings, you will be, like I said, it's up to you if you do it or not, but in the and more page on the activities, I say to work on some of your family fall recipes. And if you don't have family fall recipes, I give you 3 of ours. So from my family to yours, you can have these 3 recipes. I include them in here. Like I said, though, my printer not working well, so I can't even show you those, but just know there are additional activities attached to each page, as well as, let me grab one here. Each lesson also comes with a copywork page, a very simple, easy copywork page. I did this because, one, I noticed when a lot of people do reviews of curriculum, unit studies, and things, if copywork isn't included, they really consider that a con, and so I just wanted to provide it for those of you that really like copywork. If you don't like copywork, don't do it. Like I said, everything is customizable. I want you to enjoy it. I want it to fit your family style, so just take from the spine, from the bones, what you need, and then build around it. This is a really great option for those of you who want a themed unit study, but you just don't like putting the work into building the spine, but you're comfortable with like trailing off and finding additional information to go around it. This is perfect for you. This is also good for some of you who want to learn how to do a unit study, and this is a great example of how you could go about it. So if you want to look at it in that way, you can too. Also, side note, on my website, I do sell a DIY study guide to teach you how to step-by-step create a unit study based on any theme you want. It is reusable. It's a one-time purchase, less than $5, y'all. So less than $5, you can purchase it and use it over and over again. I don't know what my lips were doing there. That was a weird mouth shape. Oh, I did forget to note that every lesson also comes with at least 1 coloring page. I just put them in there because I know a lot of kids love that. We do a lot of other things, honestly, during our reading, like when I'm reading the lessons or anything. So this is just for those of you that like to color. Is this my family's first pick? No, it's not, and we may not even use these out of my own unit study, but it's there for those of you that don't have an option at home and would like a coloring page, or your children just like to color while you do the lessons. We prefer other manipulatives, which is for another time. I think you've probably gotten the hint of that at some point on my videos if you've been around for any length of time. Okay, so that is the general outline of how the lessons work. Now let's talk about the whole unit study itself. Also, I don't know why I haven't said it yet, but I want to give you guys a code to get it 10% off. Let's make it up now. It will be YT10 for YouTube, YT10, and that will give you 10% off. I'll keep it active for 1 week from today to Monday of next week. So today is all right, I had to look it up again. So from the 21st to the 27th, you will be able, that's easy, duh, 7 days. Anyways, from the 21st to the 27th, you'll be able to use the code YT10 to get 10% off of this lesson plan. It is very affordable anyways. It's less than $20, and it's $15 really. $14.99 is the price for this, and so you'll get 10% off for the next week. People on YouTube people on Instagram have already been buying it when I announced it, and I'm getting good feedback, which is awesome. I'm really open to your guys' ideas on future unit studies or ways to improve unit studies or any of the other products on my website. So just know I am totally open to hearing from you. You can reach out on the website, you can reach out on Instagram, or in the comments on YouTube. Let me know themes you want to see, things you want to see happen within this website after you check it out, and yeah, I'm open to anything. This is definitely a company for you guys. I want you guys to feel like you're part of it. I want to create things that you will actually use in your homes. I'm totally open to constructive criticism and making things better. If that is what you really need to do, is let me know how to improve it. It's totally fine. Or just like I said, give me ideas you would like to see in the future, and I'm happy to try my best to fulfill your wishes on that. All right, so back to what I was saying, I'm gonna keep these pages in front of me here. This is kind of like the outline of how everything works. So like I said, how it works, it's very customizable. This can take 7 days, it can take 3 months. You can use the rabbit trails I give you, or use your own, or don't use them at all. Add on activities that you like to do, add on books you love, all the different ideas, okay? You can build and take away as you want so that it fits your family's needs. I'm just giving you a really good bone structure, or spine as we like to call it in the curriculum world. I'm giving you a good spine to work with, and then from there you can do what you want. An important note I want to say about this, other than everything I've already explained, is that I do use some bigger words in the lesson, and that is on purpose. I believe in exposing children to words they would be unfamiliar with or that are too big technically for their small learning brains. And it's okay for them to ask, what does that word mean? And we explore it. That's another rabbit trail if you don't know. Exploring those big words could take you on a whole nother set of rabbit trails, and that's totally fine. So I just believe in exposing your children to larger vocabulary. Feel free to take any of those words and make them into like definition terms for them to study or learn about. That's perfectly fine too. I just want to let you know there are some big words in there, and I talk about it all in these pages. These pages at the beginning of the unit study do explain all of that. Now, each lesson is simple, but I do recommend a parent read it before doing it, because activities, if you choose to do the activities that I give you, you will need supplies. The supplies are not anything extravagant. Almost everything was already in my house. Only a few things I had to buy, which was just more paint and paintbrushes, because my kids go through those like crazy. Other than that, everything was in my house. Okay, so you may have all these items in your home, you may not, and if you don't, feel free to find replacements that you already have in your home, substitutes you could use instead of what I tell you to get, because if you can save money and figure it out a different way, if you're creative enough, then do that. You don't need to go spend more money. Now, this can be a family unit study to work on. That's perfectly fine. This is created for elementary age. I specifically created it with early elementary in mind, early to mid, but it is so customizable that you can add in your preschoolers. You can add in your older kids. You just have to add things to give them that will make it feel like it's their lesson too. And honestly, preschool can do just what's in the activities, because it's all, you know, like crafts and things that you could help them with. For older kids, they'll enjoy those too, but you might need to add some challenging things, like maybe some writing prompts or further study using outside books to add on, or whatever else it may be. You definitely can add on and create this, I think, to go, I would say, through middle school. I could see myself using it with middle school, but I don't have that much experience in that area, because I worked with children younger ages, like, you know, early elementary and preschool. But I could see someone creating ways to have this extend all the way through middle school. Now, things to consider, I'm gonna look down and read this a lot because it's all right here, but I said videos or movies that can relate to the topics. Explore tons of books, fiction or nonfiction. Add a notebook or a journal for each kid. Leave the house at least once a week to do field trips. Do the lessons outside if the weather permits. Think about substitutes for supplies that you don't have, which I said earlier. Create sensory bins. Create tray work that's related to the projects. And if you don't know what tray work is, I have videos on that on my channel you can go check out. Brain breaks are wonderful. You guys know I love a brain break, so make sure you're utilizing those. New words can be rabbit trails, like I said, and some activities may need more supplies than what I listed if you have multiple kids. So I listed what you would need per child. So just know that if something requires supplies and you have 5 kids, think about that. Make sure you're getting adequate amount of supplies out so that you don't have to keep running back and forth, or possibly having to even run to the store if you don't have items. And this right here is the actual, this is all the supplies you'll need. Does it look extensive because it's a page? Yes, but it's not. It's like scissors, glue, things like that. There's only a few things you may have to go out of your way. Like for us, newspaper, there are substitutes for paper mache you could do, and that's totally fine. But I wanted to do traditional paper mache, so I had to go on a hunt for newspaper, because I don't even know where you can buy those anymore. And to be honest, they're hard to find in stores. So just keep that in mind. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna kind of explain some things about these lessons, and then this video will be over, okay? So, seasons. Seasons is going to teach you about why we have seasons, what it has to do with the Earth's tilt of the axis. That's what you'll learn there. Fall moons is all about indigenous peoples and their a brief history of why fall moons are so important to them, and the lunar cycle, things like that you'll get to know, including the names of fall moons. Harvest is about what is ripe and ready that we usually don't think about, like unusual fall foods that we don't consider fall foods, and some of the interesting facts about them. Changes is all about what you would think, the fall leaves changing, you know, into the beautiful hues and all of those transitions that happen. You'll find it in that lesson. Hibernation, if you don't know, the early stages of hibernation are in fall, and we discussed that. Migration, obvious too. Early stages of migration can start in fall, though birds migrate all year. But we're going to specifically touch on fall migration. And the last one is my favorite, fall fixings. On this page, it's not harvest foods, but it's foods you would commonly find in the fall time. And misconceptions about them, facts about them, historical facts. Like we go into Aztec civilization a little bit, and we also touch on enslaved Africans and what they have to do with yams versus sweet potatoes. So we do touch on those parts of history and their significance. And I find this lesson to be very interesting, and it is my favorite. And on top of that, it requires you to go into the kitchen together and create as a family and spend time together, which is so important. Most of us homeschool to make sure we get those extra hours with our kids. So I did want to include ways for families to just come together without so much expectation on them. Yes, that is all the information you need to know. If there's anything else you want to know, feel free to reach out to me via email, Instagram, YouTube comments, whatever it is. I will be happy to answer any questions you have regarding it. When you purchase the unit study, like I said, it is $14.99. You will get 10% off, and you have 24 hours to download the actual PDF. Once it's downloaded, it's yours to keep, and you can reprint it as many times as you need. You don't have to print it right away even. Just make sure that you download the PDF within 24 hours to avoid any situation where you'd have to contact me and try to get it resent to you. And that's all I really want to say. But thank you guys so much that have already supported me and bought from me. I am just like blown away how many people have actually done it. And the thing was, I was like, I need to make back what it costs, right? Like there's costs for the programs I have to use to create it. There's costs for the editor who has to double check everything and fact check everything and all the things, right? Because when you're writing a lot, you can make a lot of mistakes. I've learned that. I'm just so happy. My goal was to at least just pay back what it costs to make it and hit a zero, right? I just wanted to be not in the negative. And you guys have actually surpassed that and more than like double what I expected. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate your guys' support. And I look forward to creating more things for you guys. So, all right, this 30-long video. I want you to have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Have fun homeschooling. Bye.